Hi, this is Darren with HNEN. We're at the Washington Cannabis Summit here in Seattle, Washington, and we're sitting here with Natalie from MAPS. Natalie was one of the keynote speakers today in one of the panels, and so Natalie, tell us about your involvement with the Washington Cannabis Summit, or how you got involved with it.
So I work for MAPS, Multidisciplinary Association of Psychedelic Studies, a little bit of a mouthful, and I work on advocacy for medical marijuana research. So I was invited here to speak about federal obstruction and marijuana research.
So obviously from your standpoint, one of the most important things that you're looking at in the cannabis industry is to get it sort of maybe legalized so industries can legalize it, or what, can you tell us a little bit more about that position and what you do?
So the medical marijuana research that MAPS just received a $2 million grant from the Colorado government to perform is to evaluate marijuana's efficacy for PTSD in veterans. So we're interested in making medical marijuana a prescription medication, so people can have their insurance cover this expensive, really important medicine.
And what is your personal involvement with cannabis? Do you have this is your job to go out and do that, or do you have a personal mission or goal or statement in the cannabis industry?
I think one of the most interesting things about working in this world is that often there isn't a very clear line. You know, it's definitely a personal passion, but it is my job, and I've been doing this work. You know, this is my second year. So it's relatively new in the work field, but I originally got into this work from my interest in dismantling our systems of mass incarceration, and through drug policy, I landed on marijuana.
It sounds like you've done a lot of research and what the government is doing and around the nation. If there was one mission statement or one thing you could tell the government in sort of a short synopsis, that could be a really big question, what would that be?
We need to look at the research and look at the science. We say we trust science, but we completely disregard it in all of our drug policy. Marijuana is such a powerful medicine, and it is one of the safest substances that we can consume. So I would say look at the research and base our policies on the research.
And speaking of research, let's say once the government is convinced and they do take it off of Schedule 1 and make it so that more companies can research it or make it readily available for people as medicine. When you look at the parents, what would be the message you would say that parents should be telling their kids about cannabis?
I'm all for education, and cannabis, frankly, is much safer than many drugs that we actively administer to our children. Adderall, Ritalin, they're not healthy substances that we're happy to give them because the doctor says it's okay. So I would also tell the parents to look at the research and try to understand how it's impacting their child realistically in comparison to lots of high schoolers drink alcohol and do other things that are very damaging. And frankly, cannabis is not as damaging as any of these other things. So I would say have an open, honest conversation about the facts.
Awesome. And what would you like to see? You're part of this Cannabis Summit. It's the first ever Cannabis Summit in Washington. It was an awesome turnout today. I was really impressed with the speakers, the level of knowledge, the education. Every time I come and attend one of these things, I'm always learning something new. What do you see as the hope or the goal of this Cannabis Summit being or growing into?
I would say, working in policy, I don't get to interact with industry side of things that much, but industry is really the face of cannabis right now, and that's what's going to determine everything moving forward. So I was really hopeful, listening and encouraged by everyone's talking, working together, getting over people's differences, and understanding that this isn't just a dog-to-dog capitalist business cannabis community and movement. It's really about a lot more, and working together is the only way to keep moving forward. So I hope that Washington can help set a good model for the rest of the country and moving forward, and in kind of joining advocacy and policy with the business side of things.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Natalie, for coming on the show. Where can people find out more information about what you do, what your organization does?
People can go to maps.org, and there's a plethora of information, lots of studies, lots about our trials. All of our protocols are posted, so definitely check out the maps.
Awesome. Thank you, Natalie, for coming on the show.
Thank you.
This is Darren with HNEN. Don't forget to go to our website, hempfest.org. You can find out more information about the events, activities, and everything going around in the Seattle area and surrounding areas. We'll be right back.